Hey everyone, this is CryptoCruz once again with CoinFinancial. All right, so let's see. All right, today we are gonna talk about our Bitcoin chart once again and where we're at, and also we're going to talk about a little bit of what's going on with the altcoins. Okay. I'm not going to talk about a specific altcoin per se. I'm just going to talk about the whole market in general. All right. And maybe we'll go over a specific altcoin that you would like to talk about in the next video. But right now, we are hovering at around $104,000 in Bitcoin. We did just see a spike uh in the last few days, right? Yeah, we saw a spike in the last few days and we've been hovering around above 100k. We finally broke above 100k once again, okay? Um so I will not be surprised if we actually do some kind of correction that would actually be pretty healthy and will actually create a really really strong bull market indication. And I'll show you what I'm talking about here in a minute. But what I see here also, if we're gonna talk about it, I don't see a bearish diversion just yet. I do see that we are overbought once again, and on the RSI, it looks very bullish still. Okay, so there is a really good chance that we could just keep going up. All right, maybe it would just kind of go sideways here for a little bit and then start going up some more. But here's what I would like to see, which is actually going to be a lot more bullish than bearish if this happens. But people are going to get shaken out if this happens as well. This is not a popular topic. People don't like it when, you talk about the price action going down. But what a lot of people say, and I guess I'll say it too, right now dips are gifts, right? So whenever there's a dip, that's another buying opportunity because we all know where Bitcoin is headed, right? It's gonna be going up. So many people, so many wealths are accumulating. But let's get on with it. This is what I see. We're gonna go to the weekly chart. Okay, it's gonna be really quick. Let's see it right here. I'm gonna draw it out. Right now we're right here, right? Right here, this point right there, where it dipped and bounced back up, right? That is right around $89,000. And then right here, where there's a lot of touch point, is around 90. Let's see, where is that? It's going to be around 91,000. So 89 to $91,000 is going to be the range we're looking at for a nice dip. So let's just say let's go in between 90k, right? That's a nice rounded number, 90k, nice even number. So 90k is what we're looking at. Again, we can go down to 89 or actually bounce at 91. Okay. But here's what I see. I'm going to try to draw if I can. Maybe a brush will work, right? Let's see. And what color is this? Is that a good color? Let's change that color out. Let's make it yellow. You can see it better. Okay. All right. Okay. So here's what I see. If if this price goes down to right there, 89, 90k, and then bounce back up, right? That would just create, I'm gonna draw it in red, I guess. Is that good? Nope. You can barely see that red color. Um, I'm gonna turn off that magnet. Okay. Where's my color? I'll keep it at yellow. I'll keep it at yellow so we can see it better, right? Yeah, we'll keep it at, yeah. So if the price goes all the way down here to the 90k, 89, 90k, 91 level, and then bounce back up, that is actually going to create this. You see that? That is what we call a inverse head and shoulders pattern, where this is the head and this is the two shoulders. And an inverse head and shoulders pattern, usually when it breaks the neckline, which is right around here, the neckline, that's going to be where we're at right now, actually, at 104, 104, 105. When it breaks that neckline, that's when we go parabolic. And how do we measure that? How do we measure that line? Okay. We're going to just do a trend line. We're going to go on a neckline right here. And I guess right there. And then we're going to go, um, just keep it at trend line. No, we'll do a horizontal line. There you go. And then at the very bottom, which is right here, okay, the bottom of the head, boom, right there. All right. And then we draw from the bottom to top. Some of y'all will probably get blown away by what you're about to see. Bottom to top. I'm going to change that color to what? Let's do yellow again. It's easy to see, right? All right. And then you simply grab that, you put it on the breakout line right here, and look where we're at. We're looking at a breakout of about 137 right there. We're looking at a breakout of about 137K, close to 140, right? Yep, close to 140. Who knows if this maybe a little bit higher, to where if you just want to do it at the the 108, 109K, the all-time high, then we will reach 140. That's crazy how it aligns to almost exactly at 140 for the breakout. You know, so a lot of people are saying, we could go to 145, 150. So that's right around that target, right? That's exactly what I want to happen, because an inverse head and shoulder is going to be very, very nice. And it's going to be much healthier for the market. Now, aside from Bitcoin, it looks like alt season is starting as well. We're going to go to the Bitcoin dominance chart. And I've been following this for a while. Right here, this is where where we created the W, and then we broke out. A W pattern is also pretty bullish. We broke out on the Bitcoin dominance chart when Bitcoin just started dominating. By the way, this is on the monthly chart, guys. This is long term, okay? Every candlestick indicates a month uh movement, price movement. All right. And we have been going gradually up. This is what we call a rising wedge. And a rising wedge is actually bearish in charts, meaning rising wedge typically breaks what? To the downside. Okay. And we're going to make this bigger. And we're going to make this taller. Okay. So, and as you can see, this really, really big red candle right here, if we zoom in some more, we're going to go to the weekly chart and just to see how that looks actually. All right. Look at that drop. That is why the altcoins are going crazy right now. And Bitcoin is going sideways. And we're seeing like 50%, 100% movement on some of these altcoins, right? In just a few days. Some over 100% in just a few days. And some meme coins, oh man, they're like, I believe Peanut is at a tear. And there are some other altcoins out there that, I mean, meme coins out there that are actually going crazy. Sui is not a meme coin, but Sui is one of my favorite projects. That's going crazy as well. Very bullish on Sui. But anyways, this looks like a reversal right here. Okay. We still have this rising wedge support line that we need to break. Okay, we could possibly go here and maybe bounce back up again, but we'll see. We have to secure a break to the downside here. But when we do break to the downside, of course, that's gonna be from 62 to 61%. That means alts are still gonna keep dominating. I do believe we're gonna try to reach all the way to 62% dominance, which gives the alts more upwards movement until we reach that. But once we reach that, we'll have to see if we get rejected and bounce back up and Bitcoin goes back up, or we break down. Now, if we break down, Bitcoin could possibly go sideways even more, or maybe possibly go to the 90K level while altcoins keep going up. Why? Because when we break down, that's when we go to our next support line, which is this blue line right here at 58. Okay. What is that? Right. Let's go back to the monthly chart and you will see why I drew that. The bigger picture, when in doubt, zoom out. We're going to the monthly chart. This is the big picture right here. This line dates back all the way to 2016, guys. Right there. Okay. Right there is where the first touch point, I didn't quite get it there, but close enough. This is long term. And then it goes from here. We had a little bit of resistance here. If you zoom in, I'm not going to zoom in because I don't want to waste any more time. But if you actually want to look at this monthly, you go to the monthly chart on the Bitcoin dominance and then zoom in and try to find this pinpoint right here, which is around June 27, no, around May of 2017. You'll see there's a lot of price movement there. Go all the way here where it got spiked up and got rejected really bad. And this is at around 2021. Um, and then that's when the alt season started in 2021, as you can see. And then we went all the way here, and there's a lot of price movements here also. Okay. And again, this is where we're at. This is what we're looking at. So this is if we break if we break, we're gonna go back to the weekly to zoom in more so you can see it better. Okay. Now, if we break this blue line right here, then we're gonna keep going with the alt season all the way down to probably around 59, 58% dominance. Actually around 59, 58.8% dominance, and see if we bounce back up. If we do, then we could just kind of, you know, because this one becomes resistant. What was one support becomes resistant. So if we break that and go all the way down here, then that's going to be a resistant line up here, right? So we can kind of move sideways in the dominance before what? We break down even more, okay? When we break down even more, our next support line is going to be this green line. Now, how did I draw that green line? It's the same thing. We can go back to that monthly and you will see exactly why I drew that green line, because it's going to have a lot more touch point. Oh, wrong one. There you go. It dates back from here. This is where I started it at July 2017. And as you can see, the green line all the way, you see all that. You can clearly see that pattern right there. And then even here, around here, you can see that, right? So that's going to be the next support line to see. And then, of course, our biggest support line, which is actually the market structure. And this is where I believe where we're going to go. Okay. Mark my words. Alt season, if this rising wedge break, of course, we're going to retest and hit some bumps along the way. This one being first, this one being second. But mark my word, I am pretty confident. Um, Nothing is 100%, right? But it's very high probability, and I'm pretty confident that we are high probability, probably let's say 90% probability, we are gonna reach 48% dominance back down here to retest this support line that was once a heavy resistance. from 62 to 48 dominance. Guys, the last time we saw that kind of a dump or that kind of a alt season was around here back in 2017, right? Whenever that was the very last run the alt season had before the bear market of 2018, and also here 2021. All right. 2020, 2021. Actually, yeah, that's another run of the alt season before we hit, unfortunately, the bear market. So we make this run, that is most likely gonna be the alt season that we're looking for, where everything just goes crazy, maybe 10x or 20x on some of these altcoins, right? But bad news is usually that means the bear market is right upon us. Okay. That is it for today. I hope you like this video. If you feel you've learned something, or if you like more contents like this, or even if you want to hear more about the altcoins, some of the altcoins, just comment down below. And again, if you like this type of content, and if this helps, subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell. And also, if you believe that you can help someone with this, share it with at least one person. It'll definitely help me out. It'll most likely help your friend out, and it'll help the channel out, and it'll give me more motivation to make better contents in the future. All right. So until next time, peace.